in your opinion, expertise, was the factor or factors that made Khan and the Mongols the most effective conquerors ever? That is a great question. It goes to the heart of the matter as to how this one man and his descendants were able to conquer the greatest empire in history. He was greater than Julius Caesar, greater than Alexander the so-called Great, and every other conqueror. So, great question. Let's go into that. So, the first thing is that the Mongols were nomads. They live in Mongolia, which is essentially a wasteland, a very barren and harsh land. It's frozen for great periods of the year. The Mongolian winter is extremely harsh. Temperatures routinely go to minus 30 degrees. And even in springtime and summer, food is very scarce, and it's a very tough life in Mongolia. So the Mongols have been nomads for about 2,000 years. They're still nomads. Many of them are still living a nomadic lifestyle, which is what they prefer. So they have always been a mobile nation, a nomadic nation, and living in such a harsh environment requires a lot of discipline, almost military discipline. So the Mongols were in the past divided into various ethnic, not ethnic groups, but clans and tribes, and they were always at war with each other. And they were always, for centuries, invaded by the Chinese repeatedly. So they always had to be on the alert, and they were always trying to survive. So they were accustomed to a great deal of hardship. They were accustomed to moving all the time, and they were accustomed to military discipline. And that is the world that Genghis Khan was born into. So what this man achieved, Genghis Khan, in the first 45 or so years of his life, was he unified the entire Mongolian nation. He unified all the clans and tribes, and he created a unified nation. So that is the first achievement, and he did it because of his military prowess and his tactical and strategic superiority. And then he invaded China, and what he did while invading China was he acquired as much Chinese military technology as he could. So the Mongols they did not care whether the cat was black or white as long as it caught mice. So they acquired as much technology as they could. It did not matter where the technology came from. They took it and they used it. So in a very short amount of time, they acquired a great deal of expertise. They acquired all possible different kinds of technology, armor, crossbows, catapults, siege engines, and much more. They learned new tactics and strategies from the Chinese generals and engineers that they captured. And what they did was that they incorporated these conquered peoples into their army, and they treated them very nicely. So they acquired a great deal of expertise by doing that. And the other thing is that their tactics and strategies were brilliant. We have heard of the so-called blitzkrieg strategy that the Nazis used in the Second World War. Well, the blitzkrieg strategy is essentially concentrating all your firepower, all your weaponry into one spot and blasting a hole through the enemy defenses, and then just pushing through and conquering the territory. So that is called blitzkrieg. It means lightning warfare in German. Well, the blitzkrieg strategy is actually a Mongolian strategy. The Mongols pioneered it, and they used it to devastating effect everywhere they went. So that is one of the things. The other thing was that the Mongols they were very mobile. They could cover incredible distances in very short times because of the pony, the Mongolian pony, which is a specific special breed of horse that is native to Mongolia. Even the Indian Manipuri horse is closely related to the Mongolian pony. So this is a short horse, but it's very tough. It has immense stamina, and it is capable of immense bursts of speed. So that is one of the weapons, one of the strengths that the Mongols had. And they had a dizzying array of tactics and strategies, all of which was basically meant for one objective only: to defeat and destroy the enemy. And the other thing was that their communications were brilliant. They could communicate and coordinate two different armies, even 200 kilometers apart, in almost real time. So they could envelop the enemy from different angles, outflank them, and coordinate attacks from very different geographical areas, apparently at the same time. So these are some of the reasons why Genghis Khan and the Mongols were so incredibly successful. The world had never seen anything like them, and they conquered so much territory in such a short period of time.